And we live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Sleazy Sports. And today I'm joined by Sile and Onke Cheese. Gents, I missed you guys. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, welcome back, welcome back, welcome
Daddy.
back.
yeah, yeah, man. I just
Hey,
took
wenze
I
kahle
took
wabuya
leave.
mfethu usihlushiye lobby baba for boma 10 minutes baba last
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah. You
last
must
show.
know. You must know.
Uyafuna ukukhuluma nge-Chelsea ayi-1 qala. Ukukhuluma
No.
nge-Chelsea ayi-1 qala. Mathanda
Yeah.
khana sifaka ku-show.
Hey, cheese,
I didn't.
cheese.
He didn't even
You
allow my
know,
sound.
yeah. You
Wow.
know
Hey.
when the security says to you, "Umtata uvum," you must know you're not going in.
No, but gents, I did watch last week's episode. I took the time to watch it all, and I know you guys did a stellar job. Thank you so much once again, man.
Yeah, no
Away.
stress
And then,
baba.
yeah, I don't know where you guys want us to start. Let's start with Chelsea because that's the boring game. No one
How
watched
game is
it.
boring, eh?
We're
It was the
watching
first
the.
game. It was the first game. It was the first game, so
Yeah,
it's
I'm
only
not gonna
fair.
lie, guys. I didn't watch that game. I was watching rugby, guys. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sihle,
you
fair
were
to you.
watching rugby.
yeah, I mean, I was out and about in the streets.
I, don't-
And
I honestly
yeah,
don't think it was a boring game.
yeah.
There's a lot of good things that came off
Mm,
that game, and there's a lot of things that got highlighted that we need to address.
yeah,
One, Chelsea, yeah, last season and the season before, being in a plan B. Like
yeah,
literally, when Otis James gets injured, hey, we know we're gonna suffer. But now there seems to be a backup. Otis James and Gusto. Gusto had probably one of the best games that I've seen him in a Chelsea shirt. Whether it is preseason or a real game, he he,
yeah,
he was shining.
yeah,
And then it also then on the back of it, it highlighted Uti Sterling can switch on when he feels like it, and when he switches on, he gets everyone buzzing around him. He got the assist, he got the 2 goals, and we don't need that. We need him to be firing on all cylinders right now while everyone is trying to figure themselves out. And then the one thing that scares me is the mere fact Uguti, we're gonna have to wait for Unguku to come back, and I see Proje is training again, which is a positive. But by the time that Unguku comes in, Proje comes in and gets match fit, will already be game number 10 in the season. And the unfortunate thing, Chiefs knows this. You can lose the season 10 games in.
mm-hmm. I know, indeed, dog.
So what do we do? Do we go out and we buy a striker? Now he has to go to his stopgap because now you're gonna end up with if you get another striker, you end up with Uproja, Jackson, and whoever comes in. Now
But it's good.
Mutokona is not going to be guaranteed.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good rotation, but at the end of the day, you want to have some sort of depth in your team, Van. And I think
mm,
having those guys come back is always a positive than a negative. I think now that you guys have Caicedo, and I think Onke will definitely agree with me. If you guys are playing at three at the back and you're playing full backs, then it's enough to play Enzo and Caicedo in the middle. You do not need Gallagher in the team, and you sacrifice Gallagher for Nkunku. We have a more
Very
attacking
true.
front three.
Yeah,
We win games by scoring goals. We don't win games by winning a 1-0, a 2-0. That game against Luton must not be overshadowed. The scoreline must not overshadow the game. The game itself was very risky. There was chances where it was 1-0 and Luton were actually starting to become more confident and get themselves into the game. And there was a chance that they should have taken and they didn't, which could have made it 1-1, and that changed the complexion of the game. All of a sudden, when a team is struggling to score goals, you don't want to be now having to find a goal in the last few minutes of the second half because he gave me 1-1.
can I then
Yes,
ask?
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can I then ask Wuti, what's the overall feeling around Enzo no Moses in the middle? Because I know Wuti we were just playing Luton, and I
Superstars.
think just playing Luton it sounds very disrespectful. but hey, they looked a solid unit. Whether by a attacker or by a defender or by the interchange, one you via and the other one comes back. But they looked a solid unit.
Okay.
I think Lapo we don't have issues. I'm not too worried about those two. I think, like Sihle says, their presence in our midfield creates a situation whereby we can have a free number 10, like a totally free number 10 who has the freedom to create. And I caught myself thinking, this team is better suited for Joao Felix in the manner we were using him last year. But since he's not going to come back, and I know because apparently Poch got a report from Lampard, and I don't know why Poch decided to trust Lampard anyway. But
Hey,
we do need a 10. We do need a creative player, and Nkunku is on the sidelines. The only advantage we have now is that our fixtures don't look that bad. It's still the Premier League, so I say that cautiously. But our fixtures, we don't have any big games that we have to look forward to. So that's going to help. There's going to be growth and understanding amongst the team. My biggest concern is the left-hand side for the team, and not Colwell per se. It's yes, yes, and what ends up happening is that Jackson has to overcompensate on the left because there's no winger. There's no true winger. He has to overcompensate and help out on the left. He's not spending enough time in the box where his threat can be useful. You understand? He's turning guys, but he's too far away from the goal. He needs to play a 1-2 with Uben. Uben is not used to creating rapport with a striker. That has never been his role in his entire career. You understand? Edwin Pilu Jackson, a nice in. Tata, Hambokora. Uben gets in front of the goals. He
Gets excited.
he tries to pass Sterling. But those are some of the things I think Poch now needs to be very decisive about. Ben is clearly not playing as a wing back. That is clear for anyone to see because of how wide Ukolwil plays and how he basically tucks in Ibola Maize from the right, but he's playing so wide. You cannot call him a center back. But yeah, if let's say we are playing a 3, I agree. We need to keep it a double pivot. Enzo can still create from deep. Then we need a 10 though that is going to have the freedom to take risks. Make the extra passes, runs, and everything, so that the two are playing a supporting role. So he has a lot to figure out in terms of the balance of the team. I was happy with Gusto. I was happy with Sterling. And I think the instruction from this coach is for Sterling to play more direct. Sterling got used to playing off the ball a lot at City, where he wasn't required to dribble. He was playing as part of the system. I think when you watch City now, Grealish and Mahrez last year sort of had more freedom than Sterling had with Sane. Sane didn't dribble as well. Pep wanted them to be useful for their pace mainly in the channels so that KDB and David Silva could find them with ease. And I think that system was much more dynamic as far as City is concerned. Their current system is not, but let's not get there as yet. But I like how they are using him now because we are utilizing the full threat of Sterling, which is his pace, and then his close control when he's got the ball. Just that peskiness he's gonna win fouls, he's gonna win penalties.
Yeah, but for me,
I'm happy with that.
We put. I think the way Chelsea plays, there is a clear emphasis on where their strengths are, and against bigger teams, it's easier for us to deal and negate that, and go and hurt you in that other side. Because if Ukolwel is playing so far wide away from Thiago Silva, that's already a big problem because we know Thiago Silva is not great with pace, and he's going to be forced to overcompensate by shifting a bit left to be a left center back. And you don't want to have Colwell one-on-one with a winger. And we know Ben is not trying to hurt us. Ben is a wing back. So we're always going to try and deal with that situation in bigger games. Luton took them a while to realize that fact. And by the time they realized that Sterling had already made so much damage to the right side of the pitch, and it allowed, because Gusto makes it so much easier. Which I'll wait for you. I'll do the defending and the dirty work for you. Go and help them on the other side. And that's what we want. That's what you want from a team. And I think when I say if you play Caicedo and Enzo as the two, a flat two, same way he went about his Tottenham team with sometimes when he went to the back three. Dlala two. Dlala Enzo, you play Caicedo. We play Sterling and Nkunku and see if guys can stop those two. It's very unlikely that both of them will have a bad game on the same day, and it'll be more chances for Jackson to get into the game.
Very true.
We try to head them with our strengths. We don't necessarily need to have a João Felix. Yes, it would be great, right? But I mean, we have guys who are incredible in getting in between people and getting in and punishing opponents as well. Sterling was a good goal scorer. We must never take away from the fact that Sterling knows how to score goals. And we need to allow him by having a full back in Chilwell. Yeah, we have a full back in Chilwell. Let him do his full work. And what, people, we also need to be fair. Okay, Chilwell is not playing badly. If Chilwell was playing full back, he'd be one of the best full backs so far in the Premier League. Chilwell's been playing so well. The only problem is that he's now having to extend himself from being a person who has to come tuck in to help in defense, then go out to create chances, then also help to go in. It's a lot to do for one person in a game, and Mwandako has to be three different people at a point in time. So Gallagher needs to go down. Gallagher needs to go.
My issue was how Gallagher was used in that game.
I've said this on Gallagher, and people said I was hating on him. I think it's time for him to bounce.
You used to rate Gallagher, bruh.
No, get the fuck out of here.
You did. Sit there. Dog, now I need to go to my archives, man. I need
do
to
that.
The video.
Do that. I've never been a fan of Gallagher.
Okay. Okay.
I watched.
I don't mind Connor.
I watched Billy Boy at Brighton over the weekend. Sure, Bashayu, and they lost the game.
He's so good. Oh, he's so good, man.
Yeah, but there's that to go see. Maybe Gallagher needs to go to a Palace. That's where he belongs. Like a side, like a Palace. That's where he's going to shine. Chelsea might be just one step too far for his limit. Because I think as a player, there's always hope. Because remember, when you buy a player, you buy the player either on potential that you're seeing, or there is like proper talent that the player is showing. And Gallagher was more a talent player. I think we can just let him go. He played. He was okay, but he's not. He doesn't fit what where the squad is going. And I think for him, for his career and the Euros that are coming up, it's time for him to go now and get more game time somewhere else. But I think Enzo, we've spoken about Enzo time and time again. Enzo looks like he's played under Pochettino for the longest of time. The way that he's able to take my instructions, and I can safely say with Chelsea is entertaining again.
CK, if Chukwuemeka returns, does he play ahead of Connor?
Yeah.
He should.
Yes.
But the question is that will he? The other thing I feel is if honestly we are trying to play a back five with two wing backs, then it doesn't make sense that the left side is only attacked by Gallagher. If we've got a double pivot in midfield, it means that Gallagher was supposed to be on the left. He chose to be in the middle, but he was supposed to be on the left, supporting Ben. Instead, Gallagher was actually in the 10 when he should be as a wing forward, basically on the left, which is why I feel as though why use Gallagher if you have a winger that you can use, even Madueke, play him on the right then, or play Sterling on the right. But if Sterling is on the left, but if Sterling is more comfortable on the right, as he's shown since the season started, Okay, keep him on the right. Play Madueke on the left. Then at least there's balance in terms of our attack, and Jackson can tag in much better. Now Jackson is having to fetch balls on the left and try to connect with Ben and sort of bridge that gap because there's a player that's supposed to be in that position who's not there. And I felt like for the most part in that game, that frustrated me. Our attack was very imbalanced, and all those guys kept doing was overload the right side, knowing that we are playing through Sterling and Gusto and Enzo. It's the right side mainly. When the ball goes to the left, it has to be either a free run, we can't create anything, or Colwell has to create something from the back, basically with a through pass. That's too much work to do. If you have a winger playing on that side, then sine balance engcono. Then we don't have a 10, but we've got an extra creative outlet there. So there's a bit of flexibility that I feel that Pochettino should use, unless we're saying we're playing a 3-5-2 and he wants to have three midfielders and one who's a free number 10, and then Sterling and Jackson are playing as a double nine. Fine, but that wasn't the case. Sterling was clearly a winger in the game. There was no winger on the left. And then when Ben would try to go into the wing, there's going to be issues. There's going to be something that lacks in his skill set because that's not what he's used to. If it was Alonso there, Alonso would have 4 goals already. Yeah, it's a different story. He'd have 4 goals already, a few assists. He was so comfortable going forward. But not every fullback is like that. Not every fullback. If it's Cancelo,
look at Kyle Walker.
Simple example.
Yeah, can bomb forward, come back, bomb forward, come back, and he can do that from the first minute of the game up until the 89th, 90th minute.
In fact, which English fullback can actually be a creative threat? Not even Trippier is a creative threat. Most of them are functional, apart from Trent. Most of them are functional as far as I'll give you my defense and I'll support you as a winger because that's how they've been taught football. That's what a fullback does. You support the winger and you offer up overlapping runs to cross the ball. That's how Chilwell plays. So this whole thing that we are trying to do is not going to work. But I don't want to delve too much in Chelsea. I think we finished the game pretty well. The middle of that game, after we scored that goal, those are things that coaching needs to get involved in terms of how do we make use of momentum in a game and make sure that we shut a team out basically because we almost messed that up.
And I think I've always had this fear of the international break. The international break can either come at the worst time for your team on both sides, where you've got a momentum going and then your players have to leave for international duty, or it could be it's the right time. There's a slump, and then they come back, clear their minds, and then With this Chelsea, I think the break will come in at the right time where it buys them time, to be honest. For the other players that are coming back from injury, Nkunku, I know is going to come back as a new signing when he comes back. Last I checked, but mid-December, and he's going to come in as a proper new signing. But honestly, we're entertaining. Let's not jump the gun. It's Luton for crying out loud, but there were more positives than negatives.
Yeah, and at least you
Tell me, I caught myself thinking this. This is my last thought. I caught myself thinking this. In games where we are going to have the advantage as far as ball possession, do you think that we should consider using Gusto and Reese instead of Disasi if you're going to play a back three?
No.
That's risky. That's very risky.
Yeah.
No. Gusto's not a right centre back in front. He's not
In
right
as much
centre
as
back. That'll put you in trouble.
I know.
It's
You must try that against
defense
United, dog. Yeah, you must try that against United, guys. Yeah.
But you don't have anyone on that wing. You've got no one to fear.
Oh, you have no one to fear.
You're opening yourself up. Look, we'll talk about Newcastle and how Newcastle thought they won the game. But anyway, next game was the Spurs game. Spurs is wavy.
Nah, I don't
My
think so.
brother,
It's
my
okay.
brother,
It's okay. Thank you,
Besuma is cooking, bro.
Yeah, it's back.
That's
It's
it.
back to
Besuma
stay.
is
Abantu
cooking, bro.
asiphi wona
Besuma is
uBesuma
jamming.
manje. He's getting
Besuma
back
is
to his
jamming.
old self.
Yeah, Besuma is jamming. For me,
But he has,
Can
he's
I just
playing
say,
so
I'm more
well.
impressed by Sa. Is it me?
yeah,
Is it
Usa,
just
yeah.
me
No,
who's
but
more impressed by Sa than
exactly.
Basuma?
Remember. So this is what I was saying again is that if you're holding mid is a beast like that, Onke, you go, bro. You go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
no, it's the fact
endlini
he's so secure.
if endlini ukhiyele pitbull ukhiyele ubeke lapha emnyango wakho uyavaya uye epatini uzobuya ngo-2 ekuseni okay on a
Comfortably
pitbull.
knowing.
Sa,
So
Yeah.
Usta now looks like a natural guy. It looks like he's been playing in the EPL for
I
years.
I
Once he's been
love the
starting
middle.
So good.
because
Maybe
Gune Pitbull Shela Payana, you can't do anything, Petu. You can't if he loses the ball, Upusuma's right next to him, Utati ball, go do some
Yeah.
damage. That pass to Madison. It's
That
class,
was,
bro.
ah,
Class,
that was
pass.
beautiful.
Passage.
That was
Ah,
beautiful.
that was a passage.
Incredible.
I loved
Yeah.
that. I
Brilliant.
enjoyed that. Look, I feel like Spurs.
midfielder, John.
Yeah, I feel like Spurs has great moments in the way that
Yeah.
they play. There are great, combinations. I still feel like they overplay when they are in front. I feel like Son and Richarlison
they
tend
still
to,
can't
even
defend themselves out.
Kulusevski,
Richarlison
even
is in trouble.
Kulusevski, yeah, they overplay. They try to do a lot of things. But yeah, I love Madison. Madison looks natural on that team. I
Yeah,
feel like
she's
they just need
medicine.
to get that aggression in the box. Their front three is not supporting the
They need a
midfield
striker.
very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
their front
They
three
need a striker. Richarlison is not good
Who is
enough, Ntwana.
he's
Richarlison
not good.
isn't a
He's
person
not
who's
good.
going
Not
to.
he's not Brazilian, that guy, I'm
Is
sorry.
no, he's
yeah,
hoping
he's not someone
for
who's
this international break to come as soon as possible.
He's
Because
stiff.
I don't know, his head is somewhere else.
But it's been somewhere else though. That
How
last
many
season,
international breaks does he need? He went to the World
Yes.
Cup and came back, and he still couldn't score goals.
Yeah.
Yena no Mfana. Yena is a no for me.
I mean,
That's why I
I
get to
agree with
they
him.
need
Yeah,
I'll be linked with
yeah,
Lukaku.
Italy.
I saw rumors.
look, Roma is gonna get Lukaku because it seems Spurs is playing games. But to me, it made more sense because Lukaku is functional, and the way this guy is playing, the way Postecoglou wants to coach, he doesn't need a striker with the mobility that Kane used to have. He can play as a target man, and Richarlison is struggling as a target man because
Yeah.
he just is not doing enough. It's very frustrating. He got an opportunity, took too many touches, was supposed to kill off the touches. He's very frustrating to watch. And then he got subbed early as well. Very, very early, like 58 minutes, he was gone. I'm like,
Yeah.
you didn't
But
do
yeah,
anything in the game.
Madison seems at home. Madison is
Yeah.
taking it to the next level from Leicester. Leicester has always been a decent player, but like right now, I don't know whether
I
it's
don't think.
in.
And you rated Mount over Madison. Ungapi. Deny it.
What?
Deny it.
Criminal, usihle.
Sihle, don't.
It depends. Phela usihle depends. If bekaphuza ibhiye eglasini or bekaphuza ebhodleleni. It depends. Ama-opinion wakhe depends if bekaphuza lapha.
You what? I'll even
What?
speak with Mudise. Yeah, the time
Nah,
remember
I think there was talk. No, there was talk. Wait, X. There was talk where you were interested in Mount and Medicine. So Mount. And I said, why don't you guys go for Medicine?
Nah, I'm talking about not this season. I'm talking about season prior when Leicester was struggling, and you were saying that Mount was better than Madison, and I was always telling you, Madison. I've always rated Madison, bruh.
Hold on,
always.
Mount peaked under Frank during COVID, and that's him. He peaked there. He reached his full potential, and that was that.
But still,
No. He reached his full potential season before last when he scored 10 goals. That was his best season as a Chelsea player. That was under Tuchel.
That's the lockdown season.
No, it's under Tuchel. That's not lockdown.
The 2021.
That is Tuchel's first full season. Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, but still,
21, 22, Mount was our best player.
yeah, yes, let's listen to that, dog.
Yeah, that's not
I
good.
yeah, I
That's
see.
not
Yeah,
good,
but
dog.
yeah,
Okay, but you can go with then. Maring so
no,
full of my file. I'll find him.
uh, do your thing, and
Yeah.
then Arsenal.
Eish. I mean, I won't lie, guys.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
Arteta is self-destructing, and it's too early for him to self-destruct, and he's doing that.
Ah,
He's not
like,
self-destructing. Can I tell you what Ateta's doing?
yeah.
Ateta's going back. He's going back to what he did the season before last, where he had read too many books and he had developed too many ideas and philosophies about how he wants to play football and how he wants his team to be tactically flexible and all of those things. He is solving problems he doesn't have. That is the most frustrating thing to watch as a coach, as a fan. When your coach is looking for problems they don't have. You've got Zinchenko on the bench. You are playing Kivio as your left back. Why? First of all, you've got Ben White on the pitch, who's played as a right back the whole
But hello,
season
what
last year,
formation? Is that
and
what
you
four three
didn't.
three?
That's the base formation he has, but he always inverts one of his defenders.
Yeah.
So they attack in a 3-2-2-3 basically. That is the structure of their attack. But
But
these
then
things don't matter.
what confuses me, what irritates me is I get Guti defense is not, but the middle is maybe I focus too much on the middle. In middle, you've got Rice, you've got Odegaard, you've got
Odegaard, Partey,
who's that guy
Party.
that we scammed them with?
Thingy.
Kai
Oh, Kai.
Havertz.
King Kai. Yeah,
You've
King
got
Kai.
Kai, yeah, because Upati didn't start.
He started. He was right back.
Oh, Party. Can you imagine? Nah, no,
Oh
that's
yes,
crazy.
yes, 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 yes,
That is
yes.
crazy, man.
But there's an imbalance in that middle.
He
Like
took out
you
Gabriel. He
understand?
took out Gabriel. He took out
Yeah.
Gabriel to move White into the middle of the defense. And then he says to Partey, because that was clearly an instruction. You
Salala, hug the line.
you sit at right back, but you invert immediately when you've got possession. And they literally got caught as he's inverting to midfield. Then Saka lost the ball. There was clear space because Ben is tucked in. There's a clear space to run for Pereira, and they were hit on a counter just like that with one pass.
It
Hit
wasn't a pass.
same time. So
Saka lost the
the
ball.
issue they have, he lost the ball. The issue that they have is that they have a coach who is overthinking his system and trying to have experiments during the season
That's why I'm
because
saying
he believes they are as invincible as they were last
like,
season,
why
beating
not
everyone.
stick to what you know until you get find out, and then you can invent.
Because he's a student of Pep. I said 2 weeks ago, the problem
Yeah.
here is the obsession with Pep Guardiola. He should have took a base formation 4-3-3 and say, how can I better this formation with I'm playing principles one. Pep has used that base formation no matter what type of players he's got on the pitch. He's just changed how he uses it. It's always his formation. So he uses the same formation and he tries to do different things that don't make sense. If the defense ends up not having balance, as a result of not having balance, they concede chances. And teams in the Premier League are efficient. West Ham, Fulham, they understand. I'm not gonna get 10 opportunities to kill these guys. I need to make sure that when I
Yeah.
get it, I hit. You can't give them opportunities like that. You can't. So you have to make sure, Guti, you are solid at the back. You're not playing games trying to be cute. He was trying to be cute in that game. It was horrible to watch. And then they have Kai Havertz. My word.
Yeah.
So see, what I did is I watched the game. I'm a highlights because I didn't watch the first half. I was watching the United game. So
Yeah.
the second half I watched the Arsenal game. So I got the Havertz before Apuma. And then Fabio Vieira took on the game, and it was just something else. So then I watched the first half. My God,
But Kai is like Ozil without talent.
Ish, dude. I know Kai, dude. I don't know what
Yes,
No,
happened
no,
to
but
him.
Ukai, this game that
yes, he has the same demeanor.
he scored for me. If you had to rate him out of 10, I'd give him a 3.
Ish.
It was bad, my guy. Like
Uthathe phi le
I
3?
feel bad for him.
Uthatha kuphi 3?
Dog.
For showing
That
up and
means,
winning a jersey, and all.
He was struggling to just play passes. He
yeah,
was struggling to turn with the ball. Like he's
yeah,
devoid of confidence. He can't find his way in that team. And the problem with players like Havertz is that it's so easy to expose them because when they play bad, they are really really bad. Like it's not. I'm not half bad. He's really bad. He's horrible to look at. He's horrible to watch. He's horrible on the ball. His body
Off
language is
the
horrible. It's
ball.
like watching Rashford. It's like watching Rashford on an off day.
yeah.
And then he's
Those.
tall, so he sticks out. Yo, I mean,
yeah, but
I
guys,
was so.
I have a question. Okay, like which position is Kai's best position? Because at Leverkusen, the man was, GA merchant. He used to score a lot of goals. He looked dope there at Leverkusen. Like,
He
do you
played
think he's
everywhere at
better?
Leverkusen.
Yeah,
He
no. So
also
now
played
I'm
everywhere.
even confused.
Oh,
And I rated
wow.
him. I'm even confused with what is his best position.
So
Yeah,
at
like
Leverkusen, he
right now.
started. Yeah, he started as an LCM at Leverkusen in a
Yeah,
three, ne? And then
yeah,
he started to play as a support striker.
yeah,
And then that's where his GA increased. Because the thing about a player like that is that he can hold up the ball, and then he can just play simple passes. He
And
can dish off.
we are
You
going to
understand?
pet. We are going to
Yes, he
pet.
can hit the ball as well. So he can dish off and get assists from that, and he can get at the end of certain deliveries. But if you want to have Havertz in your team, you need to be a high creative team. Like create
yeah.
a lot of chances
Like
because
City.
you know that he's going to miss a whole lot of them.
Yeah,
But at the same time, he's one of those that when he doesn't have confidence, he doesn't get to the end of those chances. There's a cross that Saka played. Was it Saka? No, it wasn't Saka. I think Saka tried to get to the ball with a
yeah,
slide, and then Havertz was on the last pole, and he didn't move. And I remembered how many times Reece James played similar crosses last season, and he just would stop. He wouldn't try to get to the ball. No, he'd stop because he wants the ball to come to him directly. I'm like, but that's crazy. Crosses are played into space. You attack the space. You don't wait for the ball in the box. But that's how Havertz wants to play, and it's very fast. And then the one he did attack, he cleared it.
No,
He cleared
I
it.
feel for Unketia, daughter. Unketia is
uh,
suffering because of there's a player there. Well, there's a player in Unketia. Bazo Misebenza is a super sub now
ish.
No,
because
they
I feel
can't.
he should
Gabe
start.
is back. Gabriel is back. I think Ateta also messed it up by trying to play Trossard as a. Oh my God, Ateta did a lot
Ish.
of things. He tried to play Trossard as a false nine. I watched that first half. I felt so bad for Trossard because you know when the player is out of place. You can tell.
Yeah, you can
He's
tell.
not he doesn't play inside bodies. He's not used to that. He plays in space. You need to play him in space. He's more effective in that space. No, he's playing in between bodies. He's getting lost in the game. He's not getting anything as well coming to him as well. So he's having to try to join in with attacks and try to get going. Saka was horrible as well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, ish. Hey,
yeah,
Temba is
yeah.
being personal now.
I know Temba has in
No, but during it,
Temba better. Yeah, yeah,
Liverpool ukuthi yenzani, after coming so close.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then what was the next game? It was the Man United game.
Yeah, it was a stink fest.
Ay, ay,
Yeah,
ay, ay,
I
ay.
watched that game, and yeah, can I just share my 2 cents? From a balance standpoint, it's unfortunate, but that's our most balanced team, unfortunately, with the players that we have. It's that because now, with Ericsson playing, from a ball retention standpoint, we have a midfielder that at least is very comfortable on the ball. Bruno and Mount never worked, and
So
it's something that I did mention before, so I don't. It's crazy how Ten Hag doesn't see this, But like Bruno and Mount together ain't gonna work, And so for us, we really, really need Amrabat, Of course,
So this was your starting 11, right? You
yeah,
started with Onana. What's if
yeah,
Dalo? What's Martinez? What's if Iran? What's one Pasaka on the one
yeah.
side?
It's
What's
crazy how you
Mino?
know
What's
my team so
Casemiro?
well, dog. Yeah, hey, it's
No, I
crazy,
watched the
bro.
game.
Yeah,
What's it Casemiro? What's it Eriksen? And then
yeah,
what's he up front? What's it Bruno? What's it Rashford on the one side? What's he
yeah,
Anthony on the other side? What's it
yeah.
Tupperware? That's that fragile guy in the
Well, well,
front,
well, well,
Martial.
well, Tupperware is not a hole. The difference between Rashford and Tupperware is that he's not a hole. When you play the ball to him, it sticks. That's the difference between Rashford and Tupperware. And that's the sad thing, Onke. Hence I say, it's sad. It really is sad. But that's for me, I'm more comfortable seeing that starting lineup than if we don't have Martial up front. Because at least to Martial, the
So
ball's stuck. And Rashford, of course, I didn't think he had a great game, but all three goals, he was part of those all three goals. I mean, the first goal, he's the one who crossed it into Ericsson. The second goal, he's the one who played the long ball to Bruno, and then
the third
Bruno headed
goal,
it across.
he's the one who
Third
dived.
goal,
Penalty.
He's
yeah,
the
Yeah,
one
he
who dived.
dived.
yeah, he dived. And I did say in the group that I don't think it was a pin, but hey,
He
what can I
dived.
say? Yeah,
So okay,
he did, and
let's
we
go
scored
back.
the penalty as we should.
Nana,
When
let's go
God
back.
blesses you with luck, you gotta take it. Anyway,
Please, X, please don't go there because
yeah,
we've played 3 games. Out
yeah,
of the 3 games, you've won 2 in suspect fashion, like
yeah,
proper suspect. But anyway,
yeah,
I always give
Donations.
Bruno stick and say he's overrated. Bruno stood
yes,
up. This was Bruno
yeah, but he's still
standing up.
overrated. Yeah, he stood up, but he's still overrated.
But they needed 3 points.
I just yeah. The thing is that like I said, Sidle, before I even started commenting, it's sad. It's really sad. This is our best lineup, and we're not good, bro.
So
We still
basically,
not good
Bruno is
enough.
the smartest idiot in the idiot class.
I wouldn't. The thing is that I just feel like with Bruno, for us to get the best out of Bruno, he's not someone who's competent on the ball. He needs to be surrounded with guys who are actually pass first and shoot second type players. That's why if run three of Ganacho, this guy, Rashford, as well
Mount,
as who's this guy?
Mount,
Anthony.
Anthony, yeah.
It does, and then of course you've got Bruno, and then you also got Mount. There's an imbalance there because all these players' first instinct is to shoot and not to create, So that's why it's so they tend to give away the ball, especially in tight areas. And then when they give away the ball, they're all out of position. Casemiro is isolated, and then you get United fans saying Casemiro is far, he's fallen off. How do you defend against 3 guys when you're alone? Because usually when breaks happen, even against Wolves, when the breaks were happening, it was always 2-on-1, 3-on-1 situations, and Casemiro is now forced to guess
Lunge.
and lunge, because that's the only thing you do. Even if you were in this situation, bro, you do the same, And so for me, man, I don't know what happens in training with Ten Hag, because Nami, hey, I know Onke doesn't rate him, but for me, man, I'm beginning to question them. I really do question how
Hey, you don't want
he
that.
sets up
The
our
game
squad.
week 3, you're already questioning your manager. Game week 3.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I think you guys didn't have a bad game. Let me okay. So I watched the
yeah,
first half in that game. Then
yeah,
I watched the whole game as a highlight. But in the first half, you concede those 2 goals. The
yeah.
first goal comes from a mistake from Uland,
Rashford.
Wan Bissaka. No,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
Wan
sorry.
Bissaka's mistake. Wan Bissaka
Yeah, the
shouldn't
header.
go for that header. Shouldn't go
Yeah,
for that header. You contest that header, you're leaving Rashford on an island
facts.
against a striker twice his size.
Yo, he
So
broke. Yeah,
Hey, that boy is.
he
That's a
yeah,
bodied,
beast.
what people don't realize is that he didn't just leave Rashford. He winded him first. He bodied
yeah,
him, Then he sprinted. So
Yo.
Rashford is recovering from the hit he just took, and then
Yeah.
he's trying to catch up at the same time. And then he
Yeah.
still got to him before he could shoot. But you know what happened? Your goalkeeper was sitting down
Sets.
already. While
Yeah.
Rashford is trying to bother, Rashford is trying to bother our knee to make sure Guti, he doesn't shoot in a comfortable situation.
Yeah.
All Uleto needs to do is to stay big and stay low. You don't need to go down. Stay big, stay low. If you can lunge. But you don't just sit. He sat.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Only
true.
just pass the ball to the net. First goal goes in. So that's a catalogue of errors that took place. Second
Yeah.
goal,
There's a
he
picture.
literally
There's a picture of him in a. There's a picture of him in a F1 car. I think that.
in a F1 car. Because he
Yeah.
said, and
Yeah.
in that picture, Aoni still has the ball.
Mhm.
While he's sitting down, Aoni still has the ball. Rashford is trying to nibble at him without making a penalty. So he already recovered, Rashford. So
Yeah.
even though he had lost his man, he recovered, he got to the man and bothered his shot. All this guy needs to do is to stay on his feet, stay low, and try to time Ilan Juguti uzomstopa
Yeah.
1-on-1. That could have been easily avoided. Poor
Mhm.
goalkeeping as well there. Second goal, that is it defense not committing to a clearance. One Bissaka has clear sight of the ball. He decides to jump with turning his back to the ball. Ukuthi bafundele kuphi ukujump abantu base-United angazi. Bolly doesn't even jump, guys. Bolly is so
Yeah, he just
surprised the ball gets to him. All he does
he
is he
just
turns his head and
yeah,
then
he
it
just turns
goes
his
in.
head. And it was so
That's
soft and
two
passive.
defensive errors. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
soft.
Yeah,
That's
but
two
I
defensive
think
errors.
United take too long to switch on.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
becoming
I
a
agree,
big
lad.
theme in games. It's a very big theme in games of them taking forever to switch on. If
Yeah.
teams can't score 2 goals,
It is
and it's a
it
normal
is
thing.
the
They need
starting
to get
walk.
it out. Yeah.
They do.
And
Talk
last year
out
they had
like
the same problem. They
mhm.
start games very slow. But after those two goals went in, then they were able to turn up the heat,
The energy.
and
Yeah.
they should have scored on a few occasions. I mean,
Mm.
there was a Casemiro chance where he
Yo,
had
hey,
only
fit.
the net.
And he
And
missed
guys,
Similar
it.
to how he
but
scored. Similar to how he
yeah,
scored. Basically, Bruno plays it to him straight to his
yeah,
head. He doesn't have to jump. All he needs to do is to do
yeah.
what Bolly did. Just turn your head towards the goal. The ball goes in. He missed
Yo,
it somehow.
Oh, there
So
was
but
a
it,
save.
it
There was a
wasn't.
save in the way that keeper.
oh
It was
Nana
a
me.
shot that was taken
Yeah.
by Anthony.
Oh,
Yes, yes,
Anthony.
Oh,
yes.
Yes, yes.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
one. Where that
So
one that
I
was
had
going
counted
in, dog.
that.
Hey, I saw that
Now I
one.
had
Yeah.
counted that. I was
because he
like,
curled
okay,
it, he curled around two defenders. So it was very
Yeah.
difficult to see. How
yeah.
Met was able to get to that was
I
amazing.
don't
Yo,
know.
I am fit.
But
And then,
He
but
crawled that ball.
those are some of the positives. The problem with United is you can't keep your pressing energy
yeah,
for a full game, and then
for
your
5
intensity is
minutes.
horrible when you start games.
Yeah.
And it's from last season. Vele. Last season teams would blow you out from the start because you're starting too slow, too laggy. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, Wuti, is it a focus thing? Is it you're not being
It's folk.
coached? Do you need a captain that's more vocal to wake
Ish.
people up or what? What was
Yeah.
going on with the defense in that second goal, for example, it makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. You can't say that was a great cross or whatever. That was an
Nah,
easy clearance with
easy
any
clearance.
defense. Easy
Easy.
clearance.
Nami dog, that one, I for me it bothered me. That one dog. When I saw it going, and then I was like, okay, maybe this could be it could be a bad result. We could get annihilated because I mean we never showed character in the first few minutes. But of course, as the game grew, we got better. And another thing, gents, with Casemiro and Fitz, Casemiro is very good at getting into attacking positions. For someone who we deem as a six, like of late, even that last season, he used to score quite a few goals from midfield, especially in the box. Like he knows how to get
He's a
himself
threat.
in
He's a
positions
box
where he
threat.
can score. Yeah. But
Yeah, but if you're
But I will
conceding
say
2 goals, if you're conceding 2 goals in 3 minutes, wonke umuntu ulala phambili Xolani. So leyo nje ngiyayibona nje.
did you see how high their line was? U- u- u-
yeah,
Ulento, they were playing so high. Ulisandro was basically like from the D line. He was so close
No.
from time to time because they were chasing so much. They were so aggressive. But I'm like, why does United change so much when they play against teams that can have some technical ability? They fall all the way back to their box. When they play
Yeah.
against a team that's a pushover like Nottingham, because that coach cannot coach to save his life anyway,
Yeah.
then they become this expressive team. They try all these manner of things. Bruno was everywhere. Anthony was everywhere. Anthony played probably one of his best games as a United player in that
Yeah.
game. Probably one of his best.
Yeah.
Rashford
He
was
was very
shit.
consistent.
He
Yeah.
was shit. He was being packed up by Aurier to a point that they moved Anthony to the left to let him deal with Aurier for a while until they
Yeah.
totally equalizer. Until they totally
Yeah.
equalizer, then they were able to free things up. There were times when Rashford would dribble himself. Atushay step
Oh,
over.
dude. Dude.
He
It's so
steps over with the
frustrating.
right. When he tries the left, he kicks the ball out
Dude.
of play. I'm like, meg.
Yeah.
What?
And as
So
well,
so
it's just to
so
keep things simple, bro. At the end of the day, for me, that's what I cry about majority of our attackers. Just keep it simple, Mfethu. If there isn't any space, you can turn and recycle the ball. I mean, when you look at teams like City, that's what happens all the
Ra-
time. You know,
Rashford
when
is bad when Rashford is
yeah,
bad when there's a player in front of him.
yeah,
Rashford is great in space. When he's running,
yeah.
great.
When he's running is
When
the
you put
problem.
a player in front of him,
Mhm.
forget.
Yeah,
Easy
but
to
now
defend,
the
no
other
problem.
problem that United faces is injured.
yeah.
Because Uveran is if
Varane,
Hey
no, he's
man, bro.
injured.
Hey man, you see, dude, Tina, we got Arsenal's what again? Was it Doctor or something? I think he's like
Yeah,
yeah, we got him
yeah.
in, and ever since we got him in, yeah, you can see injuries galore, Mfethu. And
Who is
yeah,
hiring
but you
people
got
at
Maguire, so you
United?
sorted.
I dude, like I said, we're a state-owned entity. I keep telling you guys, Mfethu, hlanga at my team, bro. Like things just don't make sense, fam. And that's part of the reasons why for me, I won't be optimistic until we get owners. And it all goes down to that, bro. Like our organization, Jay, is just not great, bro. And
Well,
even on
the
the
transfer
field.
window closes this week. So
Well,
that's the other thing.
yeah, the thing is that Sihle, and it's this thing of taking one step forward and
Manje
taking two
sihle
steps back.
manje sihle ufuna kwenzani bayosayina ama-owner.
Yeah, well, come on. I'd rather get that's the cheese. I'd rather get owners now and struggle throughout the season, knowing that there'll be structure going forward, bruh. I'd rather suffer now, knowing that we're gonna build
But those
structure.
owners cannot use Ten Hag. Those owners need a real coach.
Who should they
Cannot use
get?
Ten Hag.
Who should they get?
Anyone. There's
Anyone?
plenty. There's anyone. Ten
Yeah,
Hag.
I
Ten
know. I
Hag.
doubt it. He wouldn't
Ten
sacrifice
Hag has
someone. This is
horrible
one of his
talent
problems.
identity,
yeah, he's bad at talent identities. Talent
and then he wants control. Remember, people
Mhm,
forget when Ten Hag was hired,
mhm.
they had Ulento
Overall,
Uranyik as
yeah,
Ilento as a consultant. He was hired as a consultant to rebuild that team.
yeah.
Ten Hag said he wanted full control over transfers. United gave it to him. They released Ranić. That was a huge
What a
mistake.
mount.
Ranić has built teams. Ranić
Who?
has built teams. Ten Hag went and bought Malasiya, Abo
Who?
Anthony ngeyimali eyishisiwe la. Abenzanga next bonke labo bantu labo. He's
Yeah,
horrible at identifying talent. He made a
he is.
lot of money for Ajax,
Yeah,
and most of his signings have not panned out. And then
yeah,
the players that seemed like they would make sense, well, I would say one in Sabitzer, who he should have kept
yeah.
if he really
Head
wanted
of
a
mouth.
midfielder
Yeah,
ahead of Mount. He should have
yeah.
kept him. No, Sabitzer. Could have got Madison, who was
Yeah,
cheaper than Mount. No, Mount. Now you don't have any creative depth. You are lucky Bruno never gets injured. Bruno has only
no,
ever missed games because of sickness in his career. He's never actually been injured. If someone breaks that nigga's leg, it's over for Man United creatively because You don't have a creative outlet.
ungambona uBruno jumper kanjani kodwa esondela
Yeah,
kuye.
yeah, yeah,
Bruno kanjani.
yeah.
You can just imagine. I don't even think that they make that guy train. I'm sure they don't make him train. Ukudlalela izinto ezikhabela for that one.
Oh yeah,
Nah, he doesn't train hard. Nah,
yeah.
ushayi cardio kuphela.
I know.
Yeah. Guys, please
And
like,
Rashford
comment.
is showing now what
Yeah.
Upen is not fair anymore.
Yeah. I know. Besides that, Father, like, there's just a lot of things that I think Rashford and Jay. I just think as United fans, we tend to, overrate him. We actually overrate pretty much everyone in our squad, and it's so unfortunate that no one can see the deficiencies of our players. I mean, I can see them day and night. You can see where the team lacks, and unfortunately, there really isn't much I can do, because really, I'm not sure if we're gonna bring in any midfielders. I mean, that's an area of concern, of big concern, because we don't even know how to make 5 passes. Yes, against Nottingham we did, because Nottingham was sitting back and they're allowing us to get the ball. But against Arsenal this weekend, it's
I
gonna
was
be a
telling
different.
Shiva they can go to Kaizer Chiefs and get Castillo.
Oh, Castillo.
Stiletto.
Oh, but you guys probably did 3-0. Now you guys.
Now
come
we're gonna
on.
play Man City. But anyway, on to Man City. In Man City, it's not firing on all cylinders, and Pep has a way that he's figured out. He's got his math right, where he gets his team to peak at the right time. And a lot of managers struggle with that, where they find themselves peaking too early in the season, and then come Jan, they fizzle out. By March, Ishaile. But Pep has figured out how to get his team to be firing on all cylinders, where they can go on a 12-game winning streak, while everyone else just is all over the place.
Pep is in hiring sports psychologists and therapists from Arsenal as well. So it's also important to know that.
Yeah.
I think Pep has a team that has the same desire he has for winning.
100%.
I think the marriage in terms of philosophy, net drive to win is very important. That City team refuses to let go of games. As I remember, there was a season, Ruben Diaz's first season, where I think it was Diaz, Gundogan, and Rodri would save games. City were winning 1-0, scraping through games, winning ugly. And I was like, I remember having this conversation with Siluti. You guys have learned how to start winning ugly. Pep was always process based, trying to automate his system. The system is foolproof. But Premier League teams get better. Premier League teams learn. Premier League teams find ways to frustrate you. Your first plan, your second plan. Over time, you need to reinvent yourself as a coach.
Yeah.
Premier League teams know how to defend against Pep now. They know how to frustrate Pep and his teams and everything. So what Pep now has done is that psychologically his team is geared to fight now. They fight for the result now. Now they fight. It's not about the system and everything anymore. It's about it's the same thing Liverpool has with Klopp. You understand, Wuti? Even if I put you in now, you're going to get in there. You're going to fight for this. Foden came in, instant impact. Impact. Started to create some dynamism. Pambeli, there was something. I feel like he's being mistreated. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of the boy, and he always has this. And I told this to Usihle after the first game in the season that Foden will have a great game, and then get benched the exact following game or play in a different position. So he continuity ayiko for yena. Alvarez can continuously play though. Can come back next game. He's gonna start again. Foden might not even make the bench. Foden might not even make the bench. That's how brutal that guy is.
So on Campana, for me, I think again, Mafeti, Pep does a lot of game management for players. Man. It's we have a lot of games to play City this season, but we have a lot of games, and we need guys like Foden fit, right? We need guys like Bernardo fit. So those guys are always going to rotate. Grealish, now one is gonna play today, next week Negata. Um, the one person who's going to lead for this team is Rodri because
Yeah.
he's one person we cannot replace. We can always
No.
Pumu to Haaland, Alvarez, but we cannot replace Rodri. Son.
No.
We can try our best, about Phillips, but as soon as Rodri leaves that team, they're like, Bonanga, which is la, Arsenal, Nyana, para.
Jeez, okay.
Now, right, cheese. That one.
Jeez, dog. Yeah. Let's move on to thingy, guys. I know we'd love to talk about City and everything, but Liverpool, guys, like
Nah, but that's where a manager. I think the word elite managers is like normally thrown around. Klopp took a gamble, is all on that. I think we can all agree. He took a gamble.
Look at Onke's special
his captain got sent off 28 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And this is the Newcastle on the up.
But Eddie Howe, guys. I mean, dog.
Eddie Howe, where did he finish last season?
No.
Doesn't matter. He hasn't beaten Liverpool in how long?
You see there, he fumbled.
Nah, but I think it was a statement. It was a statement.
There was no statement next. No.
Yeah.
Ed is right. Ed is right. He's not a
I
lead.
said that.
Yeah.
The problem here is Klopp made a mistake already in the first half. When you are down to 10 men and you want to replace the defender that just got a red card, fine, you can replace that defender. But the player you take out should not kill your attack. What happened is that he takes out Diaz, who is dynamic, who is creative, who is speedy, who can be a problem, who's on form. He takes him out, leaves Gakpo in the game, who's not a striker, who is like a Havertz Nainji.
I was waiting for you to compare him to a
Yeah.
No, he is. He is. And then he keeps him in the game. He doesn't affect the game in any way. Instead, what happens is that you've got these two players in Salah and Gakpo playing so far away from each other, not complementing each other, even though the numbers are not in their place. And Newcastle wasting every chance they're getting, every single one. Almiron, I mean,
yeah, true.
Anthony
should have buried.
Yes, Anthony. Barnes
when he came on.
Barnes,
when he came on was the worst. He's the worst. It's one of those ones. Lega Tembele in the Champions League against Liverpool.
Yes.
4 or 5 names. Those similar sort of opportunities.
Yeah.
Those small moments might lose you the league.
Barnes literally missed that goal, that opportunity, and 2 minutes later, Portman makes that error at the back. And I understand why Portman made that error, because the way the pass was played, Portman is trying to chase Nunes. So as he turns, the pass is played, so he's trying to stop it, but it's behind him. And then as he tries to kick the ball, kanti ushaya through pass nje game, ushaya assist yomhlaba. Yalenda Nunes right here.
I'm done, Salamuntu. On Mama Niraki check it once. Red card. Women shooting. 9-9.
He was too far. He was too far.
Check it. Red card. Yeah, reach a bit.
I was gone.
He was gone.
And you don't take off. You also don't take off Isak. You don't
take off Tonali. You don't take off Tonali as well. You don't take off Tonali.
It was just terrible.
What game did he have?
I was acting like this Champions League this week, dog. There's no fucking Champions League, fam.
I don't
Like,
understand
I was
that.
like,
Wilson
why, dog?
Wilson comes in and then remains in Matip's pocket. Like he literally could not do anything.
Nothing,
He
dog.
was
Nothing.
firmly in Matip's pocket. Yabona that 2v1 Yaga Pans was gonna give Wilson a goal and then
Yeah.
the game was gonna be over. Fine. Had that worked. But if people don't remember, before Pans got an opportunity, who's this boy? What? Harvey Elliott
Elliot.
played a beauty to Nunes that Nunes got wrong at first touch. He sort of stopped. Nunes went through, and then if first touch he pulled the ball instead of pushing it. And then it defense here recover. Botman took the ball from him. So in that,
They should have
like
seen by
few
then.
seconds later, yes, few seconds later, they are hitting Liverpool on the counter. You're supposed to bury that because clearly Nunes is going to be a thorn in your back. Ay, balala. And this is why I said Klopp got it wrong, and then Newcastle Eddie Howe allowed him to correct his mistake. You don't do that. You don't
He
do
didn't,
that.
he didn't suffocate him, dog. Like, this guy was at the corner. You know, in boxing, too, it's a knockdown.
That was
When the
frustrating
guy
from
gets
me.
up, you need to finish him. And he wasn't, dude, for me, even the goals, bro, both goals were the same for Liverpool. They were all
Exactly the same.
Same goals, dog. I was like,
You know why? You also know why it frustrates me that Gakpo stayed in that game, because
yeah.
Klopp now realizes Uguti. It's like Gakpo is playing so far from Salah. Every time you give the ball to Salah, he's having to run on his own. He's got no options.
Hey, but
The first thing he does, he says, Nunes, play close to Mo.
Yeah.
Play close because Salah's creative. He doesn't need to be running. He can create. He can pass the ball. Then immediately that works. That tells you Uguti. Klopp was given opportunities to find himself in that game. He should have killed that man. He should have killed it. That was an easy 3-0 win. That was an easy 3-0 win.
And
But because red card, Mina, in my book, that's not a red card. In my book, angazi amanye ama-defender afila kanjani. That's not a red card. But then the Premier League is very soft these days. Everything is a foul. Everything is a yellow card. Everything is a red card. The
Just
referees have taken over the league.
The Trent foul on was it Anthony? Where he pushed him. Wasn't that a yellow?
Why is it a yellow?
He pushed him. He didn't even try to tackle him.
Okay, so Ulento, who's that tall guy? Jonathan. How many fouls did he have in the first half? 4.
No. So the player, okay. Trent is behind. Thingy is attacking. Anthony is attacking. He has the ball. He pushes the ball. He's already on a yellow. And he literally doesn't even try to tackle him. He pushes him over. Like, I'm not talking about like maybe it's a shoulder.
It was his arm. He put his arm on his shoulder.
No, he pushed him.
No, he put his arm on his shoulder. Why? What was the first yellow for? What was
judgment?
No, what was the first yellow for? Also, didn't Anthony push him before Trent got the yellow card? No, this is, you know why I'm saying this, because the Premier League is losing its plot because they're saying the game should not be emotional. Trent got his first yellow card for reacting for the fact that he didn't get a foul after Anthony pushed him out. He slipped while Puma dug out lay. And then he came out frustrated. He pushed the ball away, got a yellow card for that. For his reaction, didn't get a foul. He got a yellow card for that.
Rashford should have also gotten a yellow card for kicking Ebola to the ball boy. I don't know if you guys saw
I love that. I'm saying I love that. And he didn't get it.
Because it's Man United, it was like harsh.
But because it doesn't make any football sense. Mina even time wasting. Time wasting is a bullshit reason to give a yellow card, because the time is gonna be added on anyway.
Yeah, and especially
if you're gonna add on 11 minutes, If you're going to add on 11 minutes, why are you giving people cautions? You have control over the time. The time is yours to control. So why are you giving people yellow cards for time wasting? It doesn't make sense. That means time wasting doesn't exist in football. It
100%.
doesn't.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't
No,
because
okay.
any time that is wasted, the ref has control over the time of the game. We are at the mercy of the referee. So Nje, the way the Premier League has decided to look at these rules, also the new rule, last man says that if you make a clear effort to play the ball, it's a yellow card if you're the last man, if that's how the foul is made. Did Van Dijk play the man or play the ball?
Both.
So he made a
Yeah.
clear attempt to play the ball and he got a straight red. So it's
Yeah, that
almost
was
as
good
if
to see.
the rules apply differently. The problem is we are clapping hands today. Tomorrow it's Ruben Diaz. Tomorrow it's Moses Caicedo. Tomorrow it's in a thriller in a game that you need. They are very incompetent. These refs in the Premier League. They are horrible refereeing, Lapaya. There's no
Really.
balance. Decisions are made based on impulse and emotions. I feel like, if this coach complains, they get a yellow card. If that coach complains, they tell them to calm down and whatever. It's
Yeah.
not balanced because they are not judging the game. They are judging incidents now. They are not adjudicating on the game that is happening on the pitch. They are looking at incidents. Rashford dives, nothing. How do you foul someone with a foot that is standing? The foot is planted on the ground. How are you fouling? Who are you fouling with the foot that is planted? Doesn't make sense, but it goes on. That's the Premier League today. Doesn't make sense, man. They've made it horrible. And the FPL is going to suffer because
Yeah.
anyone now can get a red card. Your captain can get a red card for complaining.
Yeah. No, okay, this is for you, man, from Timber.
Yeah, but you don't want to watch. Yeah, but you don't want to watch this
The thing
video.
is, Temba knows I don't take the PSL seriously. He knows this.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
PSL, when it comes to refereeing, when it comes to football, has a long way to go. I watch specific teams outside of Kaizer Chiefs, and the specific teams I watch either as rivalries or as just
Yeah.
let me see good football. But PSL referees, no. How many offside goals were scored the other weekend? Boma six. Aye, that's not a league. That's not a league worth taking serious. No, it's
Yeah.
the problem with the Premier League is that they've got the resources. They've got
Yeah.
the that's the problem.
They
They've
have,
got the
they have
resources
no
and they're still
excuse.
getting it that bad.
They
Ah,
have
I
no
call.
For how
excuse,
many years
man.
now? I see here,
Yo,
Ivan
since
X.
Ntanga, yeah. But guys, yeah, thank you so much. Hey, we've gone over the time, but much appreciated for availing yourselves. Did you wanna say something, Onke? Because I
What
see
do you onke still?
Onke wants to say something.
No, no, no.
What do you still?
I wanted to share with you. No, it seems as though the Lukaku to Roma deal is almost close to finish. So
Yeah,
Lukaku will
it
be
is.
reunited with his favorite coach, Jose Mourinho. Again,
Hey,
that's gonna be fun in Italy.
yeah, because it's gonna be him and
Bazom,
Poch.
bazom, bazom racially abuse umfana omncane.
Eish.
They are going to racially abuse him like crazy.
Hey, especially if he goes back to Inter and Tanga. Hey, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
Milan
wild.
and Naples. No,
Yeah,
Milan and Turin. He's
Turin.
not going to
Hey,
enjoy those two cities. They're
nah,
going
it's
to
not.
racially abuse him like crazy.
Eish,
Yep,
dude.
because that's all they
Hey,
got.
yeah,
But
that's the
yeah,
only thing they got. But anyway, gents, thank you so much for availing yourself. Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Twizy Sport, and we out.
Mfukile
Cause
Okay.
for
Mfukile
life.
Nkosi.
Ah.